Raise your hand if you've ever walked into a room and felt completely out of place. Most of us, right? I'm going to assume that one of the first things that you did was look for someone that you know or that you're familiar with. It's something that each and every one of us do without even realizing it. Approaching people that you aren't familiar with can be really scary and sometimes intimidating. But it's these scary and uncomfortable moments that build our confidence and help us make friends. So, what if I told you that one conversation, a single moment of courage, could change the course of your life? When we push ourselves to connect with someone that we don't know, whether it's saying hello to someone in the hallway or sitting by someone new at lunch, we push ourselves outside of our comfort zones. And it's these moments of discomfort where our confidence grows. People will need people. We need people to grow in all aspects of our lives. So when we build relationships, we aren't only making friends, but we're building our support systems and our sense of belonging. So whether it's your friend helping you study for a test, supporting you through a hard time, or even just having someone to laugh with, those connections shape us. So many of us believe that making new friends is all about being super extroverted and outgoing, and then we tell ourselves that we're too scared or too nervous to approach someone. We believe that if we don't already feel confident in social situations, we can't make connections on a whim. But the reality is, everybody experiences different forms of discomfort in interactions with new people. It's this discomfort that helps us grow. You don't need to be the most outgoing person to make a difference in someone's life, or for them to make a difference in yours. Think of your friendships and other relationships like bridges. Bridges connect people and places and help establish communities. They're designed to handle changing loads like the weight of trains, cars, trucks, and pedestrians. They bend and flex when trains pass over them and return to their original shape once the train passes by. Bridges are designed to connect people. They're also designed to handle the constant stress and pressure of the changing loads. They move with the weight piled on top of them. We build our bridges with the people we surround ourselves with. These connections become something that we depend on. When we're going through something difficult, we depend on our bridges, our friends, to support us. Something important to remember is that if we neglect our relationships, they weaken, just like the bridge that isn't cared for. If we don't have these bridges in our lives, getting through hard things and overcoming challenges becomes so much more difficult. Bridges need to be built on solid foundations, and for us, these foundations are communication, understanding, and empathy. In my almost 16 years of life, I've moved 6 times across state lines. I moved to Oklahoma last year, but because I've lived in so many different places, I've had opportunities to meet people from all different backgrounds. People from other countries, people who have different religions and beliefs, people from different economic standings. These people have shaped me. I've learned from them more about myself, who I am, and what I want my life to look like. I have friends who are from all over Latin America. A lot of them and their parents are immigrants. I have friends of so many different religions who believe in different things and have different values. Maybe I don't agree with them on some things, but that doesn't necessarily mean that either of us is wrong or that the other is right. I've lived on the right side of the tracks and the wrong side, quite literally. As I was writing all this up, I was trying to think of one experience that would be able to sum all of this. But I really couldn't. I could talk about my friend who lives in a trailer park, my friend who translates papers for her parents, my friend who walks home every single day after school, snow or rain, because her mom is working, my friend who lived in an abusive home, my friend whose parents immigrated to give their family a better life, my friend who is a Ukrainian refugee, my friend who works construction with his dad after school to help pay the bills. There are so many stories to be told, but none of these stories are mine to tell. I've learned from them what it means to work hard and what it means to be grateful for your family and to not take what you have for granted. I've learned from these people what it means to be compassionate and to be forgiving. When you look around, all you can see are faces. Those people have a different story than you do. Everybody in this room has a different story than you. You can't always see what other people's lives are like. So it will never hurt to reach out your hand and offer help to somebody. You can learn about them and their experiences, and their experiences might just have an impact on your own. Doesn't matter what we look like, or what we believe in, or how much money we have. We're all humans, and we all need each other. Having the confidence to make new friends is truly difficult. After moving, I've sometimes felt utterly alone. I felt like my friends from before were forgetting about me, or that I wasn't particularly close with my new friends. This left me in a rut that I didn't feel like I could get out of. Sometimes I still feel like that. But it's up to me and to the rest of us to be brave and to put ourselves out there in uncomfortable situations to better our friendships. We need to make sure that our bridges are being taken care of. So even when it's hard, pull yourself back up and choose to foster the relationships that you already have and the ones that are still being built. Our relationships don't just shape our lives. They have a ripple effect on the world around us. Every time we build a strong connection, we create a chain reaction of kindness, trust, and opportunity that extends beyond just two people. Think about a moment when someone reached out to you. An act of kindness, a word of encouragement, a conversation that changed your perspective on something. That moment has most likely stayed with you, changing how you approach others or even certain situations. At some point in your life, you were probably that person for someone else. The simple things that we do that create ripple effects don't only benefit us. It creates a more supportive and compassionate world. With small efforts and conversations, experiences, moments of trust, we build our bridges slowly, allowing us to cross into new opportunities and perspectives and experience new things. The future that we build for ourselves starts now. When we make an effort to connect with others, it's not just about getting through one awkward lunch or one difficult conversation. It's about laying a foundation that will support us for the rest of our lives. Strong relationships bring a sense of belonging and emotional security. Studies show that people who have meaningful relationships experience lower levels of stress, anxiety, and depression. Social connections also influence our physical health. These people typically have lower blood pressure, stronger immune systems, and even longer lifespans. Strong connections allow for personal growth and opportunities. Think about the most successful people you know, whether it's your favorite celebrity or a founder of a super successful company. Chances are they didn't get to where they are alone. They had mentors and friends who opened doors, provided guidance, and believed in them when they might have doubted themselves. The connections that we make today might be the ones that shape our future careers in ways that we can't even imagine yet. When you're younger, it's so much easier to be open-minded about meeting new people, new and different people. You're still being exposed to so many things, and you're still learning how the world works. So now, when you're older, don't close yourself off to new opportunities just because at first something might make you uncomfortable. Allow yourself to be open to new connections and to build upon the relationships that you already have. Making connections and building friendships is so important. But how can it change us? The truth is that every person we meet has the power to shift our perspective, even in the smallest ways. The connections that we form influence how we think, what we value, and how we treat others. When we open ourselves up to new people, we don't just add names to our contact list, but we add more depth to who we are. Think about it like this. Every person we meet is like a thread in the fabric of our identity. Some threads are bold and bright, leaving an obvious mark on us. And others are subtle, woven in so seamlessly that we don't even realize their impact until we look back. But together, they shape the tapestry of our lives. For me, moving 6 times has been both a challenge and a gift. It's introduced me to people from all walks of life, people whose experiences are extremely different from my own. But through those relationships, I've learned what it means to see people, not just as faces in a crowd, but as individuals with their own struggles, dreams, and stories. Connection changes us because it teaches us empathy. When we listen to someone's story, when we witness their struggles, and when we celebrate their victories, we begin to understand life beyond our own perspective. We learn to replace judgment with compassion, assumptions with curiosity, and fear with understanding. Connection also shapes our resilience. The people we surround ourselves with influence how we navigate challenges. They remind us that we're not alone, that we're stronger than we think, and that no matter how difficult life gets, there is always someone who will stand by our side. And perhaps most importantly, connection gives us purpose. At the end of the day, our greatest impact won't be measured by what we achieve alone, but by the lives we touch. When we choose to invest in relationships, when we choose to show up for others, when we choose to be open and vulnerable, we leave behind something far greater than worldly success. We leave behind meaning. So, remember that feeling of walking into a room full of strangers? Imagine if, next time, instead of looking for the people that we know, we reach out to someone that we don't know. We can become the person that makes someone else feel seen. So, I leave you with this. Who are you going to connect with today? And will you be willing to let that connection change you? In the end, we don't shape our relationships. Our relationships shape us. Thank you.